Super excited to be welcoming our next guest, Dr. Tyler Brady. At Haven Dental, he has developed a unique brand culture centered on excellence, education, and impact, where patients feel cared for and clinicians are empowered to grow. Beyond his practice, Dr. Brady teaches and mentors other dentists in areas such as dental photography, cosmetic workflows, and brand development, helping them elevate their craft and confidently share their work with the world. We're super excited to welcome Dr. Tyler Brady. Hello, everybody. My name is Elijah Desmond. I am your host and the CEO of the Dental Pitch Brokerage and Closing the Deal host. So super excited to have with me today, Dr. Tyler Brady. How you doing, Tyler?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I was super looking forward to this. I know we just got done working with you and you had a life-changing sale, and I'm so excited to talk about it and to tell everybody, kind of your experience. But the first question I ask everybody, and you actually went through it yourself, and it's, if you were to get on stage to sell your dental practice and there was a walk-on song that you would use, what would that walk-on song be?
I don't even remember what I chose.
Oh!
Right now, it'd probably be The Final Countdown.
Okay, awesome. Well, I will tell you this. Number one, you're a heck of a speaker. You do very well on stage, and you don't have to be a speaker in this setting. It's just an interview. However, I'm going to tell you that you resonated with all of those buyers so much when you got vulnerable and you told your real story. And people, they can relate to other people who are vulnerable and they're real. And I'm going to tell you, I couldn't have been more proud to watch you up there on that stage and watch you shine. So we're going to just jump right into it. If you could just tell everybody about your background and your dental practice, how long did you own it and why did you choose to sell?
Yeah, so we opened in 2018 just as like a normal general dentist office. Wasn't really planning amazing skyscraper career, just kind of go through the motions and do my thing and make a good living and all that. And then I started kind of gravitating towards cosmetic dentistry, and I saw the power of social media with that a little earlier on than most, I think. And I grew the office into something that would have been my dream in dental school. I created my dream job. It was a cosmetic office. I had patients coming from all over the country. People were asking me to come work here. Like it's just amazing. But that also makes things really complicated, and budgets and payrolls and all the expenses that come along with a growing business was stressing me out so much to where I felt like I wasn't able to really do what I wanted to do with the practice anymore. And so I called you it was early this year, and I was just like, I'm about to lose my mind here. I don't know what to do, but I hate it. And you're like, well, have you thought about selling? I was like, no way, I would never do that. This is my baby. Like, I spent a decade growing this place, and you said, let's just look. And I was like, okay, there's no shame in that. And I trust you. We've known each other for years, and you've always followed through on what you said you would do, and you did it again. And I sent you my numbers, and we got into where it was like, okay, here's what we could probably do. Here's how your career would probably be afterwards. Think about it, and let's keep moving forward if you want to. And there was no pressure. There was nice reminders of, hey, we need this report, or we need you to talk to your accountant, like just part of selling or processing anything. There's steps along the way. And I mean, working with Jason and Austin, they were amazing. They were so positive and encouraging and helpful and patient, because I am running the business, and now I'm a part-time forensic accountant on my own business, sending all the things over. But it was eye-opening to see how these things work in a really good way.
Can you say what is the biggest factor that made you realize it was time to sell?
I think once I got past the mental block of like giving up, on owning my small business, um, I felt such a relief of like, now I can really focus on what I really want to do instead of stressing about payroll and rent and supplies and negotiating contracts and dealing with insurance. Like, once I got past that block and realized that I could just work as a dentist and make a good living, I got my first, we'll call it a paycheck, a few weeks ago, and it was twice as much as I've ever earned in a month.
Oh, wow.
So,
that is a mic dropper.
yeah,
Wow.
I mean that, and I haven't lost control of anything. You set me up with a really good DSO. You weren't just throwing me to the wolves and taking your commission and walking away. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, once I realized what I was actually doing and the care that you guys take with making that happen, you matched me up with the perfect fit for my office. It's exactly the mix of what I want. I still want to make decisions, but I also don't want to have to deal with all this stuff. And that's exactly what I'm doing. It's awesome.
That's so awesome. That's great. Can you tell us, who did you choose to sell to and why, and how has it been working with them so far? What are the benefits and what are the challenges as well? Because there's usually challenges whenever there's a transition, and that's okay. But if you were to give an overall synopsis of that, what would it be?
I think so. The company that I matched with is a company called Lumio. They're based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They're I would call them a medium-sized DSO. They own about 80 offices. And I don't know, just meeting them on Zoom meetings for the first few times, like, it just felt like this is the type of company that I want to work with. I wasn't like 100% like it's them or nobody. But it just felt like a good mentality of like, they're very patient focused. They're very culture focused, quality focused, progression, gratitude. And it's all the things that I love about the industry. And so when I found a company that could do that, and I still kept 40% ownership, so I have skin in the game, it gives me motivation to monitor things and check things, but I'm also like not overwhelmed with all of the things going on. And the best part is that they've delivered on that. They haven't just blown smoke and made it sound nice, and then you make the sale and then everything changes. No, it's actually been pleasantly surprising the way that they've taken care of us, and they came in and helped us transition over. There's been hiccups. I mean, I would say most of it involves like software and IT and like switching over a couple of the bills and just getting the new email, like all the things that come with that. Transition took a little longer than we wanted it to, but about a month in, things were pretty smooth. There's hiccups every once in a while. X-ray software, I think, is the main one, but we're working on that, and it's going well. It's going really well.
That's awesome. Looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Honestly, that I can never answer that question when anybody asks me, because I just feel like if it wasn't ideal, I learned a lot from it. And so, no, I mean, maybe honestly, I probably would have called you 2 years ago. Once we kind of we were done with our growth and we had kind of plateaued on like our revenue stream and everything. And it was really just slamming my head against the wall. Like, okay, how do I get it to the next level? I wasn't able to do it on my own. And so the last 3 years has just been like, okay, maybe this, and it wouldn't work. And maybe this, oh, it wouldn't work. But yeah, once I'm past that growth threshold and I've got like the ideal spot without all the stress that comes after that, that's when I would have called you, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, speaking of like thresholds and collections, can you like give everybody a synopsis of like where your practice was when you sold from a collection standpoint? How many operatories that you had? How many team members you had? Did you have any other dentists? Were you the solo dentist? Give us like a big picture. So there are dentists on here. They're going to be like, oh, I can't relate to him because I'm not there. Or some are going to be like, this is exactly where I'm at, and this is what I'm going through.
Yeah, I mean, so I had an associate. we, over the last 3 years, we had done about 2.7 million in revenue. In dental school, they make you think the $1 million practice is the goal. And that's not hard. I don't consider myself like an exceptionally good business owner or clinician, or I mean, I'm good, but there are dentists way better than me. And I think if anybody really wants to put the work in, you don't have to sell your soul to have a $3 million practice. It's very doable.
Got it. And how many operatories do you have? Where are you located at?
Yeah, sorry. So we have 6 operatories. I have 2 hygienists. I only have one now because of maternity and all that stuff, but 2 hygienists, 2 dentists, 4 days a week. We're in a fairly affluent area, but most of our patients come from other areas. There's a lot of competition on the road that we're on. There's probably 40 dentists within 5 miles of the office. So it's very, very competitive. But yeah, it's a typical PPO office in a lot of ways.
Okay. And what is advice that you would give other dentists that are considering selling their practice?
I would say turn off the noise, find out what you want out of your career and out of your life. And that's the talk you and I had. He's like, okay, financially, where do you want to be? Work schedule, where do you want to be? And then we kind of worked back from there. I would say the stigma of DSOs are going to skin you alive and take you for all you're worth, I think is going away. I think a lot of people have learned their lesson trying to do business that way. And a lot of dentists are kind of traumatized from that. I feel like the industry kind of has a bad taste in their mouth. But with the way insurance reimbursement's going, the way patients are more educated than they used to be, there's a lot more resources out there. And technology is becoming more and more important. So costs are going up. It's important to find a group of people that can help you do what you want to do and treat patients the way you want them to be treated. There are DSOs that focus on Medicaid. There's DSOs that are implant driven. There are DSOs that are veneer driven. I mean, you can find what you're looking for if you have somebody with the resources to be able to do that for you. I mean, you put me in contact with some of the top DSOs in the country. These were not like small 3 practice groups. If I asked for that, that's something you could help me find. I know you could, but you brought the heavy hitters in and you showed me. I didn't think I was worth what you told me I was worth. I thought I was gonna walk out the back door one day and just say, see you later. But you really helped me, and going on stage and presenting to those people is honestly what really hit it home for me. Was like, wow, they actually do value what I've done. Even I didn't at the time.
And I will never forget that either, because you literally had people in tears.
It was crazy.
You told your story and you had people in tears. And I remember the specific question, and it was around the pandemic. And it was about how you actually gave away dentistry to people in need. And it meant so much to you. You could just see your passion just come through your voice. And you had people emotional in every room. Everybody was like in love with Tyler when he told his heart to the world. And it's just you. This is who you are, and thank you for being you. It's been great. Now let's talk about some things that weren't that great, and we don't have to give names if you don't want. But you actually went through. This is the reason why I tell everybody: listen, you need to work with a broker. You need to talk to your broker. You need to talk to them about everything. Groups and DSOs are going to be approaching you, and I'm going to tell you there is many DSOs that are not good DSOs. And there's many deals that are absolutely terrible deals. And you just don't know what you don't know. I don't care if you don't work with me. Work with a broker and use them before you sign anything, before you talk to anybody. Like, they're there for you. Do you care to share with a situation that you went through with a early mistake that you had made and the consequences that could have came out of it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was trying to have the approach of keeping my options open. And so I was talking to another person. It wasn't a broker or anything. It was just another couple people. And they were talking about doing some things that sounded exciting. And it just became a mess. And it could have compromised things. It could have, I mean, I don't know what all would have happened because of that. But there was on the back end of it now, seeing there was a lot more uncertainty than what it sounded like. And having a team of people who've gone through the process dozens, if not hundreds of times with all these offices. You guys know the red flags. You know what to look for. You know when it sounds too good to be true, or what a realistic offer should look like. And you guys helped me through that, and it probably saved my butt.
Yeah, it's, I want to say, going through the process of selling it's meant to be easy. And after you get past the turning in all of the financial documents, right? We want to make it easy. We want to make it fun. We want to make it enjoyable. However, if you do that on your own, there are so many ways that you could get burned without having somebody there to protect you and to guide you and to negotiate on your behalf. I mean, you're negotiating on dentistry all day, if you're negotiating or you're promoting, there's specialists that help you negotiate the terms of your agreement and the amount of pay on your agreement as well, which is important. So, yeah, it's a lesson learned for everybody. I would say don't go. Here's the thing: if you're going to work by yourself, as far as if you're a dentist, you decide, hey, I'm going to try to sell this myself. I'm not going to get charged that 8 to 10% or whatever it may be as a broker fee. I'm going to try to do it myself. If you're going to do that, I'm going to give some pieces of advice. Number one piece of advice: don't sign a LOI unless you, at minimum, have an attorney look at it. Okay, number one. And I would highly recommend a few different attorneys. I'd recommend Dykema. I'd recommend David Cohen. I'd recommend Cecilia Chin. They all are law firms that are reputable, and they will see the red flags in your LOI. Now they're not going to negotiate them for you, but they will see the flags. And there are some extreme things that people can put in the LOIs, and if you sign them, you're held liable. And so that's the first bit of advice. Okay, get an attorney. The second piece of advice I can give you is do not go with one buyer. You should have at least 3 to 5 buyers. If you're going to do this on your own, have 3 to 5 buyers and attempt. You're not familiar with terms and the monies and the multiples of EBITDA, but attempt to negotiate between all of them and keep them honest. Get all of their deals in front of you, and don't sign the LOIs, but get their LOIs in front of you and have an attorney, hire an attorney to look at them. And by the way, just so everybody is clear, attorney fees range from around $15,000 to $40,000, and they're typically due at the end of the transition that you have. So everybody's clear about that. The next piece of advice I can give you if you're going to do it on your own is all the buyers do something called a quality of earnings. Quality of earnings is essentially forensic accounting for the past 3 years. Your EBITDA for the past 3 years, your adjusted EBITDA for the past 3 years and 12 months, patient flow, trends up, down, and all the buyers get this. So they know exactly what they're buying. Let me go ahead and let a little truth out here to the world that everybody should hear loud and clear. You can do a quality of earnings too. Stop going to different brokers and agencies and getting valuations, because valuations are pies in the sky compared to the quality of earnings. That's how much you think you're worth. And so you got a quality of earnings for your practice, and we got your adjusted EBITDA and your past 3 years, your trailing 12, and we were able to negotiate a very high number based on your EBITDA.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. No, it's been, I would say, I think all of that advice is great, but I would say don't try to do it on your own. It's like trying to do your own root canal or trying to do your own implant. Just go to the specialist and let them do what they do and do it the right way. And I don't know, you're not talking $30, $50. This is a big deal. And it's your whole life that you're putting in someone's hands. And I don't know. I don't want to deliver my own baby. I'm going to go to the hospital and have a doctor do it.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Tyler, did the sale allow you to pursue any new passion or career opportunities? Give you bandwidth to do that?
Oh, yeah. I think if I didn't tell you, I told Jason, I feel like I'm a racehorse and I'm sitting at the gate and I just need someone to open the gate for me. I have so many things that I want to do with my time and I need a little capital to do it. And once it's sold, mentally, I couldn't even wrap my head around how liberating it was to be able to focus on teaching other dentist courses or focusing on other companies that I want to do, or even just having time for my kids where the night before payrolls due, I'm sweating. I don't have to do that anymore. I just, I don't even know when payroll is anymore. I just go to work and I can enjoy time with my kids. I can enjoy my weekends, and I'm still coming to terms with how great it is.
Wow. That's awesome. And for those of you who are listening, Tyler has actually put on some packed houses with hands-on cosmetic dentistry and implant courses. Can you tell everybody a little bit about those courses and like, look, now you have time to hang out with your kids and focus on some other things and just go and practice and leave the practice. And now you can go do other stuff. Can you tell everybody a little bit about the courses that you're doing now for dentists?
Yeah, so Glenn Vo and I, we started early this year, and we've done like a Nifty Thrifty series for veneer courses, and it has been so fun. It's been so nice I think we're used to talking to patients all day and trying to convince them that what we're doing is good and helpful and it's worth it. It's so nice to walk into a room full of people that actually do want to listen to what you have to say and want to learn from the knowledge that you have. It's a nice break from clinical dentistry, and I think it's really needed in the industry. There's a lot of people that could use a little more mentorship, and so selling the office, or selling not even the whole office, the majority of the office, I still own a chunk of it, has given me the opportunity to be able to focus on that more and to give other dentists all of the lessons learned over the last decade on doing this stuff. So it's been really great.
That's awesome. And then one more thing, you have a toothpaste line that you've created. You want to tell everybody about that, since you're talking about new ventures, since you've got some free time?
Yeah. So yeah, about 3 years ago, I wanted to do a fluoride-free toothpaste. My patients really wanted it, and all the stuff that I could find wasn't very great as far as like appealing flavors and just good, decent stuff. And so I made my own. And we've been selling it on Amazon. We've been selling it on TikTok Shop even. And we sold out the first batch. And after selling the office, it gave me the capital that I need. It gave me the time that I need to really lean into this. And I'm going to be on a magazine cover one day.
Yes, let's go.
We're going to make it so where moms stop asking dentists, how do I get my kids to brush their teeth? That's my goal.
That's awesome.
It's going to be really, really cool. I'm going to bring my hobbies, my passion of doing what I do outside of the office, and I'm going to bring it into the office, and we're going to take it all over the world. It's going to be really, really cool. That's coming out in March. We're going to be doing nanohydroxyapatite toothpaste, and I want to make it a little bit of a mystery of how we're going to do it, but it's going to be really, really cool.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, listen, I bet you have inspired so many dentists that are sitting there stressed out and, wondering how they're going to continue on as a dentist at this stage. And you just gave them hope. So thanks for telling your story, your authentic story.
Yeah, well, and I'll say too, like, I've had some pretty well-known dentists, I won't say who they are, but just message me and say, hey, I'm burned out too. How's it going? It looks like a success story online, and you realize like they're really having a rough time, even if it's just mentally. And I don't want people to throw their life away because they have an ego about who needs to own the majority of their office. I think that's such a small part of your life that you could easily give to somebody that you can trust, and it will totally transform your life, and it will make everything better. Maybe that's just me. But I think if anybody has questions, feel free to reach out to me. Like, I'm more than willing to talk about my experience and how it's going.
Awesome. Can you tell everybody how to reach you? What's the best way to get in touch with you that you are most responsive?
Yeah, Instagram is definitely the best way to reach out to me. I'm on there all the time. My username is haven.dental. DM me. I usually get back to you the same day. if it's the weekend, sometimes it's Monday.
Awesome. Now let me go ahead and say this, call it like it is. There's some dentists that don't have Instagram. They're of the, I think Tyler, you're probably like
Send a letter, fax me. No, I mean, you can call my office and I can talk to you on the phone. You can email me. Probably best email would be tylerkbrady@gmail.com. Or yeah, call the office 817-554-1122 and just call me from the broom closet. Say, I don't know what to do. I can help.
Oh my gosh. We were just about to end, but I just thought of this. This is super important because a lot of dentists call me and they're like, what about my team? What about my team? Can you please tell everybody how it was? Like, what was the reaction that your team and your patients had when they learned about the sale?
Okay, so mentally, my jaw dropped at my staff's response. I was like, I bought everyone lunch. I was like, hey, you know how? And I told them, like, we're going to be selling to a DSO. Here's how they are. Here's how much we're selling. And I think my staff knew that I have literally like drained my savings to make sure that they get paid. I have done everything I can for them to make them feel like they're appreciated and stuff here at the office. And when I told them that I was selling, they're like, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy for you. This is going to be great. And I know if it's something that you're doing, that you've really thought about it and you have a good group of people helping you do it. And so, yeah. And I was like, man, I didn't even have to buy you guys lunch. I could have just told you in the hallway.
That's awesome.
It was like such a relief for them too. They were happy for me. And it's been really great.
That's awesome, man. That is something that literally I have people that are so concerned about their team. At what point did you end up telling your team? Did you tell it after you signed the LOI when you're about to close the deal? What did you say? What did you tell everybody?
Yeah, I think I told them about a month before we were closing. It was after the LOI was signed. We're going through like the final kind of verification of things, due diligence. Yeah, that's your side of stuff. I don't know. But and I was talking to the owners of Lumio, and they're like, okay, usually new about now is when you should tell your team if you want us to come and be there. Like, they were super supportive. And I was like, no, I think I can tell them. I think we're pretty much on board. We just need to make it official. And yeah, it was pretty easy.
That's awesome. And for you had a supportive team. There's actually people like Christine Deal actually offers support for dentists that are having trouble telling their team and is there with them. And she's not the group that's purchasing and she's coming in as a neutral party and kind of helping in a 3-month process to do that transition. But I'm happy it went over so well for you, because that is something that that a lot of dentists are concerned about with their team. And so I'm glad that went over so well with you. There are people that are listening that are considering selling their practice. I will tell you that you had good margins to sell your practice. Like you're in a good space, right? Now, there are some dentists that are not going to be ready to sell. And in fact, I recently just talked to one today, and I'll never say who they are because of our NDAs, but I just talked to a dentist today that's uber successful, but they had a 10% margin, okay, EBITDA margin, right? And could be more, it could be say 15, but for everybody that's listening, understand that at Dental Pitch Brokerage, not everybody is like Tyler Brady, and that's okay. But something that we do, we have solutions. It's a good thing sometimes, but something that we do is we actually have solutions to help you to grow your EBITDA. And where many people will say, sure, we'll take you and sell you. We actually will say, well, maybe you should sell yet. And here are all of the different solutions. Like we have like almost 50 members within a mastermind that is not a dentist mastermind, but unless the dentist owns a product, the service, or a software, but it's a mastermind of founders that are in the dental space to help you grow the practice. A lot of things don't even cost you anything. They're no risk, and they add to your bottom line. So if you're a dentist that's considering selling, but you just don't know if you're ready yet, I would highly recommend that you just give us a call and let's have a chat. Conversations are free, and we can help you to grow your practice where you're getting, $500,000 or $1 million plus by just turning some levers in the next year prior to selling, because not everybody's going to be in the position that Tyler was in. Tyler was ready to sell, checked out, really, mentally ready to sell. But also he was in a position financially to sell, and got a huge offer on his practice, and is now able to still, after he did that, he was able to still essentially get another opportunity to get another crack at the apple for a second financial windfall without having the stress of running his practice. So for the people listening, thank you. Tyler, do you have any last words to share with anybody before we end this podcast?
I would say, like, if you're stressed out and you hate going to work, just check. Just look and see what it would be. That's what I did, and it changed my life. It's been an awesome ride.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tyler. We love working with you, and we're super excited to see this next chapter of your life. And for everybody else watching, give us a call. We're happy to chat with you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Cool.